Have you ever noticed that when a person is crying really hard, whether it's a child or an adult, they do a special kind of breath where they inhale in parts, like this. Sometimes it's 2 parts, sometimes more. Well, this is actually a method the body uses automatically to try to calm itself down from whatever happened to be causing this crying reaction in the first place. And it happens outside crying as well, perhaps in a situation that's inducing anxiety or even just when relaxing into sleep. In fact, you might see people, or even dogs for that matter, doing this every now and then during sleep. This unique calming breath is called the physiological sigh, and it's a tool you can use consciously to bring yourself to a calmer state. The great thing about this technique is it's very simple and only takes seconds to do. Even just one physiological sigh will help, but repeating it a few times will be even more effective. So here's how it's usually done. You take a single fairly large breath, maybe about 70 to 90% of your lung capacity through the nose, if possible, and then immediately after another inhale, followed by a long exhale. So like this. The second inhale opens up the alveoli in the lungs, which you have about 400 million of. They are these tiny little kind of airbags where gas exchange happens, oxygen enters the bloodstream and carbon dioxide returns. The studies on the physiological side tend to use this 2-part inhale. And you may or may not find it more natural to do in multiple parts, like I did in the beginning, like so. That is in fact how I've done this automatically throughout my life. So it's also the way I now do the purposeful version of the physiological sigh. Because remember, this technique is trying to copy something the body does automatically. So you may as well copy the way you actually do it. Now, you might ask, isn't this increasing breathing volume by quite a bit? And wasn't that supposed to be detrimental? Yes, especially if you do multiple physiological sighs, you will be over-breathing. What I would recommend is, whether you do one or several of these, is to pause at the end until you actually feel like you want to breathe again. So make the exhale long and slow, which already helps a lot. And at the end, just pause for a few moments before you either repeat the technique or resume normal breathing. Just like you should do after a regular sigh, a yawn, or a bout of coughing. In any case, I think the physiological sigh is a great tool for almost instantly reducing your stress level and returning you to a parasympathetic state.